Welcome back. In this video, I'll show you the 7 worst mistakes some fanfic writers make. And if you watch to the end, I'll show you the 10 worst fanfic tropes that need to die immediately. Let's get into it. In my last video, 6 hacks to level up your fanfiction, I discussed several tips for improving your fanfics. I specifically stayed away from anything relating to writing craft like dialogue, plotting, pacing, and others, because they're common to all writing. You can find articles and videos about them on my website or YouTube channel, and I've included links to the video and all of my resources in the description of this video. I focused this article on the tips and tropes that are specific to fanfiction as an art form. In this video, I'll give you a list of the most overused tropes in all of fanfiction, and finish with a list of the 10 most reviled tropes in fanfic. The Mary Sue. I think everyone is familiar with the Mary Sue. A Mary Sue is usually female, but not always. She's typically a generally perfect character. Everybody likes her, she has no flaws, she's pretty, charismatic, warm, hopeful, kind, etc. Imagine a female fictional Jesus, and you get the picture. She activates her Mary Sue powers to overcome the antagonist and save the day to the applause of everyone around her. But her victory can come at a cost, as she's bravely killed in the attempt and has an over-the-top, weepy funeral in her honor. Don't do that. A perfect character that everyone loves and saves the day is unrelatable. People want to see flawed, vulnerable characters who struggle against their flaws and overcome them by the end of the story. The Insert Sue. Similar to the Mary Sue, the Insert Sue is when the author inserts himself into the story. Now, if you're writing for your own private collection, that's fine. You can do whatever you want for yourself. You want to write a story about you and Chewbacca riding King Kong into battle against an army of giant squirrels? Go nuts. If it's for your own private library, then do you. But if it's for consumption by other readers, you need to take their tastes into account. And reading a story written by an author who makes himself the star of his own show is a bit like watching someone play video games. Great fun for the guy doing it, boring for anyone watching. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding the bell so YouTube will notify you when I upload new videos. And don't forget to check the description of this video for book recommendations, as well as all the tools and resources I use in my writing and video production. Back to the video. Over-the-top characters. If you've read fanfic for any length of time, then you know the type. These characters, though based on a canon character, have over-the-top personalities that don't appear anywhere in fiction or real life. These are the stories where Draco Malfoy struts into the Great Hall, winks at Hermione, and says, "Hey, good-looking, want to go to the room of requirement and help me break in my new broom?" No. Stop. Bad fanfic writer. Down boy. If you want to create an alternative universe fanfic where Draco and Hermione hook up, fine. But Draco and Hermione still need to be recognizable as Draco and Hermione. It's all about the difference between character and caricature. A character is the group of qualities that make a person, group, or thing different from others. A caricature is an imitation of a person where certain characteristics are exaggerated in a comical or grotesque way. Your characters should always remain characters. You can subvert expectations, but always remember to honor canon. To learn how to subvert expectations in your fanfics, check out my video 6 hacks to level up your fanfiction. You'll find a link in the description. If you stray too far from canon, then you're not writing fanfic anymore. At this point, you're basically writing an original story. There's nothing wrong with that, and loads of authors have made names for themselves by repurposing fics that strayed too far from canon. But a fanfic should remain true to canon. That's not to say you can't do a caricature, but you need to be purposeful about it. I once read a Star Trek spoof that had me in stitches. It was based on the TNG episode The Quality of Life, where Data argues that some construction robots Starfleet is using are alive. One scene had Picard, Data, and Geordi in the ready room discussing the issue in standard Star Trek techno-babbly goodness. In the spoof, Data turns around and, to prove that Geordi was alive, lights his beard on fire. The rest of the scene is Data and Picard calmly talking while LaForge runs around in the background desperately trying to put out his beard. This was a caricature and it worked because it was intentional. It created a caricature by playing on Data's established character traits, that he's emotionless, and having him casually light a friend's beard on fire to prove a point. It subverted expectations by having Data and Picard talk calmly while Geordi's beard burned instead of rushing to help him as a sane person would do. That's it for this video. In the next video, we'll look at melodrama, monologuing, and adding original characters to your fics. We'll end the video by looking at the top 10 most reviled tropes of fanfic that need to die immediately. I'll see you there. Until then, good reading and Calamus Gladio Fortior.